traffic is pretty bad.
The only problem is the traffic.
Cost of housing is actually a little higher than maybe what we were expecting to be.
So retiring to Charlotte sounds like a dream, right? Mild seasons, top-tier healthcare, and way more house for your money than most big city metros. But the truth is, every neighborhood comes with a trade-off, and not every part of Charlotte feels like retirement.
In this video, we're talking to real people who've actually done it, from recent transplants to lifelong locals, to help you see what it really looks like to retire here. The pros, the surprises, and the honest lifestyle differences that don't show up in brochures.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Doug, and this is Heather, and every week we help people from all over the country relocate to Charlotte, and many of them are planning their retirement, just like you. We know the neighborhoods, the hidden gems, and the lifestyle factors that matter the most when you're choosing the next chapter.
So let's get into it. So what do you love about living in Charlotte?
Well, I think there's a lot of things to do. I love living in Charlotte for variety, for the sports, entertainment, and the recreation, and stores, of course.
The shopping.
The shopping.
The activities. I play pickleball, I play bunco, just get a lot of friends. We go out a lot for lunch and drink wine and have fun.
The people are more welcoming than I may have imagined, right? Yeah. Before I moved here. And it's a melting pot of people of various interests and so forth. So that's it. It's just easy to meet people.
I think the thing we love about Charlotte, and one of the reasons we wanted to come out here, is really just more of the weather. I think, being from Texas, it obviously gets a lot hotter there. So, we love it there too, but it gets very hot in the summer.
Yeah.
And we kind of wanted a little bit more of a moderate climate, change of seasons. So I think that's what brought us out here. Just the scenery, the big trees, and more hilly terrain and things like that. So I think how it compares is just, I think, more the natural beauty. I think you get a lot more of that out here. I think you get of that southern hospitality. So I think we have a lot of friendly southern people in Texas too. So I think that's somewhat similar.
Everything's within reach.
Yeah.
So shopping centers, if you want to go to a mall, if you want to find some food to eat, it's readily available here in the Charlotte area.
It's very economical. Yeah. I know housing has gotten more expensive, but we've got every price range. You just might have to get away from the city a little bit more if you want land, or if you want, lower taxes. It's definitely not Mecklenburg County, but you can find something.
I think the thing that I really like about it the best is that it's a nice sized town. It's not Northern Virginia. It's not Atlanta. Love my Atlanta friends, but don't want to live there. And it's also not super small town, which we've experienced that before too, and has its wonderful attributes. But Charlotte is, again, easy to get around, but we still have our pro sports teams. You don't recognize every single person at the Lowe's. Right, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would say the good things are the restaurants. Yeah. The places to live. There's a lot of different areas, the outskirts you can, live in. You could also go uptown, things like that. As far as, like I said, the shopping.
Yeah.
And things like that. And a lot of things to do. The theater, we've got lots of sports and stuff like that.
What do you now dislike about Charlotte?
Well, I would think that every town, every city this size is going to have a lot of traffic. It's going to have.
Yes.
But I don't think that perhaps the state has kept up with our needs as far as the traffic goes.
When we first moved here, we moved into the Concord area. And Concord is very nice, Everything up there is kind of new. The only problem is the traffic. So they're building a lot of housing developments over here right now. But I don't see them doing a lot of road improvements.
Just the longevity of time that it's taken for 485 to be fixed and up and running to where it goes around, the whole city.
There could maybe be a little more like restaurant variety. We're known in North Carolina for barbecue, but our town isn't really known for food. Right. And so that might be something. But if you're willing to drive, you can find what you want.
Right. The rate it's growing. We did not plan for the roads. Right. And I think right now it's just, we've grown too quick for the roads. So traffic is pretty bad.
Yeah. And if you had a friend that was thinking about moving to the Charlotte area, what advice would you give them?
I would say to look at a lot of different parts of Charlotte before deciding where you want to buy your house. Consider if you want to commute into the city or not. Consider what kind of schools you want. Consider if you want public or private schools. Consider what access you want to, like walking to restaurants and shops. That would be my biggest thing, because Charlotte really has suburbs and city life to offer, and you just kind of have to decide where you want to be.
Well, it depends upon their age range,
Okay.
as to where I would direct them in what area to live in. Anybody who's young, I would direct them to South End because it is booming, killing it right now. If you've got kids who are middle school, high school age, I love South Mecklenburg County, South Charlotte, which is where we live and where I've been here, from the majority of my life.
There's a little something for every age, I think, in Charlotte. And we have all the 55 plus communities now.
Yeah, I would figure out what's important, whether they need schools, if they have kids, if they need activities, if they want shopping nearby. So it would be kind of based on what it is they're looking for.
For me, I would just say really just do your homework. I think for us, before we even came here, I think we did a lot of research just to know about the area and the neighborhoods. But then I think also just getting here, probably the other big thing is probably we rented for a while. We didn't just try to jump in and immediately buy a house. So I think it's good to rent for a while to kind of get to know the areas of the neighborhoods, because it really helped us to find out what different neighborhoods and what's really, fitting for us, because there's a lot of great neighborhoods, but I think it all really depends on what you're looking for. Do you want to be closer to downtown where all like the action is and the, kind of the vibe and the restaurants and things like that? Or do you want something a little more, quiet, a little more relaxing, a little more space? So it kind of depends what you're looking for. So I think research and give it some time to find what really clicks for you, I guess.
What is your favorite thing about Charlotte?
I think Charlotte offers everything from great business to sports to the arts to music. I think we're close to water, we're close to mountains, we're just a great location. We've got beautiful weather, we've got all 4 seasons. It's hard for me to have a negative thought because I was born and raised here. My parents are still here, so it's just it's a great city with a lot going on.
Yes, I agree.
I think we've definitely been very pleasantly surprised by just the amount of restaurants and nightlife, and that's one thing we've really enjoyed, kind of getting out and exploring the different neighborhoods and restaurants. I'm definitely a big foodie, and so I think that's something very important to me, and so we've really been very impressed by the quality and caliber and just the variety of food and restaurants that we found, and also not just the restaurants, but just cool things to do. Like we kind of try to go to some of the arts events. There's a number of festivals that we've kind of gone to. So a lot of just neat different things. We're hoping to get to some sporting events. We haven't done that yet, but that's on our list to do. But yeah, but really enjoying just the variety of activities and things to do since we've been here. So like I say, so far we've been very happy with our decision and looking forward to getting in and getting more involved.
What has been the biggest surprise for you guys moving out here?
Speaking for myself, I would say probably the cost of housing is actually a little higher than maybe what we were expecting to be, especially more in the central Charlotte area, which is where we're kind of looking. I think we knew it would be coming back to a bigger city would be more expensive, but I think it's even a little more so. I think, and obviously because I think everybody has the same idea as us. Everybody's moving here, so I know that's kind of driving.
And the competition for what does exist here, has been incredible.
Competition for housing, yeah. So I think that's probably been our biggest surprise, that I thought would maybe be a little easier, finding a house. But we've kind of gotten there, but it took a little bit of a process to get there.
Taxes are good. Property tax is higher.
Okay.
Well, the car tax is a lot higher than it would be in North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think Charlotte is more affordable than where you moved from?
No.
No? More expensive?
It's quite a bit more expensive. But I lived in Tucson, Arizona, and that was like 13% below the national average as far as expense goes. So I think anywhere that I would have moved would be more expensive.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's too expensive for me, but
Yeah.
And the Gastonia area is known for being a little less expensive because you don't have access to the amenities in Charlotte as quickly. You got to drive a half hour down a country roads in order to get to Charlotte. No, but you can still get to downtown within a half hour. It's just not a lot to do in the Gastonia area right now, at least. And like I said, they're building it out. So in the next 5 to 10 years, that may change.
All right, guys, that's a wrap. You've heard it from the locals. They say the pace of life is slower here, but it never feels boring, that there's always something to do, whether it's walking the greenways, grabbing dinner in South End, catching a show or sporting event, or heading to the mountains or the beach for the weekends.
And almost every one of them mentioned how friendly and welcoming neighbors feel around the Charlotte area. So whether it's a 55+ community or just a quiet street with a great coffee shop nearby, everybody agrees it's very friendly.
And we completely agree. Charlotte really does offer the best of both worlds. It's peaceful but not sleepy. You get nature, culture, community, all without the chaos or the high cost of a big city. For a lot of people, retirement here actually does feel like an upgrade.
Yep, so if you're thinking about retiring here, we would love to help you figure out where you'd feel the most at home. So shoot us a text, give us a call, email, whatever works for you. Let's talk about what matters the most to you and your family, and we'll help you find the perfect fit.
So until the next time, we'll catch you later.